Hello and welcome to the TopGear.com Electric Awards 2023. Yep, it's that time of year where we name the greatest electric cars in the world and then bend the rules a bit to crowbar in some that are slightly electric, but we like quite a lot. We need to get cracking though, because we've got 15 imaginary trophies to hand out, and the first award of the night is a big one. It's the EV we're most looking forward to driving in 2023, and it goes to the Lamborghini Revuelto. Yep, the successor to the Aventador that uses a naturally aspirated V12 and 3 electric motors now, to devastating effect. So we went to pay it a visit in Italy. So, the Countach has a great-great-grandson, and 12 years after the Aventador launched, it eventually has a successor, and this is it. It's called the Revuelto, which is named after a bull that fought in Barcelona in 1880, but it also means something in Spanish. It means to mix up or turn around, which is apt because this car is a big turning point for Lamborghini, the company. Every Lamborghini that follows after this one is going to be electrified in some way. Congratulations to the big Lambo, and from one extreme to another, because our next award is for Best Luxury EV. Now this is a car that should have a surplus of range and performance and cocoon its passengers in a cloud of comfort, and preferably have a drop-down 31-inch 8K cinema screen. And there's only one car that offers all of that, and it's this, the new BMW i7. Now the choice for living out your Alan Sugar fantasies, which sounds quite wrong, doesn't it, actually? Oh, don't look at that. You're just going to spoil it. It's embarrassing, mate. Okay, next up, it's our Innovation Award, which goes to a petrol engine, which sounds like some sort of massive error, doesn't it? But it's not, because this isn't any old petrol engine. Mazda has listened to us at last and brought back the rotary engine, not as a successor to the RX-8, but as a range extender in its small electric car, the MX-30. And it's a very, very clever thing. So a 73 horsepower engine charges up a 17 kilowatt hour battery to give a range of around 400 miles. And considering the standard MX-30 can only do 100 miles on a charge, it's absolute genius. Moving on to Best Retro EV, and I'm going to need to sit down for this one because in order to build hype ahead of the new electric Renault 5's launch early next year, Renault decided to build a pure electric drift-tastic tribute to the original Renault 5 Turbo. It's called the Renault 5 Turbo 3E, and for some reason they let Ollie Marriage drive it.
Up and running, isn't it? And it's sort of quick, but it's not that fast. It's just quite manageable. Remarkably communicative, actually. I've got good steering feel from it. I'm quite impressed with this, especially considering it's a concept car. I really want Renault to build this. It feels quite engaging. Noisy, mind you. Really quite loud in here.
Okay, time for our Range Champion Award, and naturally for this one we wanted to create the EV range test to end all EV range tests, and the idea we landed on was the 24 hours do M25, and yes, it was as horrible as it sounds, but the idea was simple: to gather together 5 electric cars costing under £50,000 with the longest claimed range, and then take them to London's orbital motorway to see which one could do most laps in 24 hours. We had a Skoda Enyaq, a Hyundai Ioniq 6, a Polestar 2, a Cupra Born, and this, the Tesla Model 3. And to cut a long story short, it was the Tesla that won it, completing a fairly astonishing 1,208 miles in 24 hours. And get this, the Polestar 2 in second place was only 3 miles behind. You can read the full harrowing story in the new issue of Top Gear magazine, but for now, congratulations to Tesla and M25. I never want to see you again. Moving on to Best Electric GT, and this year there could be only one. Probably because there was only one, but fortunately it's brilliant, fast and fluent to drive, and it doesn't look bad either. The winner is the Maserati Gran Turismo Folgore, and here's Ollie Marriage doing some skids in it on a racetrack.
Right, the torque vectoring seems to have figured out that I want to slide a bit. Oh, I quite like this. Hadn't expected it to be like that, but it's that 50-50 weight distribution is suddenly feeling quite playful. I mean, it's slightly artificial because you can tell as soon as you come off the throttle a bit, it's trying to go, it's second guessing you, it's figuring out that you want to, you might want a bit more grip at the front, so it's feeding power back to the front. Yeah, you can't be smooth with your steering inputs. You're trying to second guess the motors a bit and see what they do, but it is bloody good though. It really is.
Moving on to something even sillier. This electric car weighs 4,100 kilograms, which is about the same as 9 Caterham 170Rs. It's also got 1,000 horsepower, and it will do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat, which is basically the same as a Ferrari 296 GTB. It will go over 300 miles on a single charge, which, to be fair, isn't actually that bad, but only because it's got an absolutely massive battery, 205 kilowatt hours, or the same as 6 Honda E's. Yes, the best excess all areas EV is the Hummer EV, and I went to America to have a go in one. Whoa, that is... Well, to be honest, it's the familiar sensation we've all got used to with EVs, isn't it? The difference here is you're doing it in something the size of a medium bungalow. It just feels totally bizarre. Please, prospective Hummer owners, do not do this. Do not do what's to freedom mode when other cars are around, because honestly, there could be some very, very big, expensive accidents going on. Right, sensible pants on, because it's time for Best Everyday EV. This is an electric car that is simple and reliable and affordable and essentially eases the daily grind. Now, after crunching many, many numbers, it was the MG4 that came out on top. Congratulations, MG. You're rather showing up the establishment at the moment. Next up is Chris Harris's pick. Now, I was convinced he was going to go for something sensible, like the Renault Zoe, but no. Chris, man of the people, Harris has gone for the £2.5 million Rimac Nevera with 1,888 brake horsepower. But Chris's justification is this, that the technology that costs £2 million plus today is going to cost a fraction of that in 5 years' time. And here's what happened when Chris met the Rimacs.
Dear me! This is a drift beast like I've never ridden before.
Concept cars. We all know the formula, don't we? Mad styling, performance figures just plucked out of thin air, and materials that don't really exist. But every now and then, a concept comes along that completely changes the way we think about how a car is used, or in this case, how a car is made. Our best electric concept is this, the Citroën Ollie concept. As you can tell, it's a tough little nut, but it's here to prove something else, that electric cars can be cheaper and lighter and less complicated. So because it's lighter, you only need a 40 kilowatt hour battery to do 250 miles on a single charge. And to prove how clever it is, Citroën let Ollie Q take it for a drive on the bad streets of Birmingham.
So is it fast? No. The top speed's limited to 68 miles an hour, so even a short hop on a motorway would be way out of Ollie's comfort zone, but this isn't a car that's designed for the motorway. It's a four-wheeled reminder that all cars are massively over-engineered for what most people actually use them for.
Next up is our Lifetime Achievement Award, which goes to a car that was a pioneer in hybrid technology. At first, we laughed at its ungainly proportions, at its horrible driving dynamics, and the overly complicated petrol-electric powertrain, but Toyota kept plugging away and improving it until it became the perfect urban runaround with bulletproof reliability, which is why today it's the app-based taxi of choice. There's a brand new one that just went on sale. Unfortunately, it's not coming to the UK, which means in the UK at least, Toyota Prius, your work here is done. Congratulations, it's a 5-star rating from us. Moving on to our next category, which is for Best Electric Van, an emerging category, but one that makes a lot of sense, unless you have several tons of building material to deliver 250 miles away. But for short hop deliveries, it's the perfect solution. Now, we did consider the very cool VW ID Buzz Cargo, but to be honest, it's a little bit boutique. If you want a workhorse, you want a transit, which is why our winner of Best Electric Van is the Ford E-Transit. Now, the late great Ken Block taught us many things, mainly how to vaporise tyres with panache, but hopefully his final lesson is one that's going to ring true for years to come, that electric cars can bring the madness too. Our best e-racer is Ken's Audi S1 Hoonicorn, and if you haven't seen the full video of Ken tearing up the Vegas Strip in this 671 horsepower all-wheel drive tribute to Audi's rallying heritage, please do so immediately. And in the meantime, here's a clip of Ken doing what Ken does best. Okay folks, nearly there, because the penultimate award of the night is for Best Electric City Car. Now you'd assume, wouldn't you, the perfect city car is something small and square, like the Citroën Ami. But no, that's just too slow and the range is tiny and there's no space for people and things. What you want is a car that's compact and tough and looks good and has a decent range and actually has back seats and a boot and drives like something much bigger. What you want is one of these, the Jeep Avenger, the winner of our Best Electric City Car. Now the Avenger doesn't really reinvent the EV game in any way, it's just the right car at the right time. If you want an electric car that has very few compromises and costs from just 32 grand, you want one of these. And for that reason, the Avenger is a double winner. Yep, it scooped our biggie, the big award of the night, the overall electric car of the year. Woohoo! Expect to see these absolutely everywhere in the near future. And that's it, I think. Special congratulations to Jeep, a big congratulations to all our winners. And don't forget, you can head to topgear.com for loads more information on all of them. You can listen to the Top Gear Magazine podcast. You can pick up your copy of Top Gear Magazine, the Electric Awards issue, 4 covers to collect, and it comes with a free poster this month. And you can subscribe to this here YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.